Hi, I'm Michelle, and I'm putting together the slideshow of our Cobourg photo run. If my voice sounds a little bit odd, I've got a bit of a cold thing going on, so bear with me. I've had several people ask about the Cobourg jail photographs because of the incident that happened there, so I decided that we'll start with that first because I'm getting requests for it. And I'll go through and explain what's happening, and we'll see what goes on from there. This is the first picture or one of the first pictures that I took when we got to Cobourg Jail. We pulled into the parking lot, and we thought we would just be able to take a couple of photographs from the outside of the jail because most of it is blocked off behind, well, it's a fake stone wall that is mimicking the stone wall that was originally there when the jail was first built. And this little, I don't know if it's a cubby hole under the cement stairs, and I kept thinking I was seeing something just above the right corner. You can see a little dark, not the dark circle, but above that. And it almost looked like there was an animal, like a cat or something up in there. I took several pictures, but I don't think anything actually showed up. Charlotte also kind of had a weird feeling around there, but I don't really think I captured anything. But it was an interesting thing. That was the first thing that caught our eye when we went to the jail. Okay, this is our next interesting picture. You can see the pretend stone wall by the edge of the car. There was a car parked so that you couldn't really go through. I was sensing something by the orange window just past the car back there. I took a couple pictures, but I didn't really get anything. And it was at this point when Charlotte and I were trying to take pictures over the car that a gentleman, and I'm assuming he may have been one of the owners or managers, came out. You can see the little white fence. There's like a little veranda there. And he says, "Oh, if you girls would like to take some more pictures, you can go down past the car and around the back of the building, which is all completely surrounded by this fake stone wall, so you can't see back there. There's a garden if you'd like to go back there." And of course, Charlotte and I are taking our pictures, trying to be nonchalant, like, "Oh, this is a really nice old building. I wonder how old it is." Trying not to, more like touristy, as opposed to we're out to try and find something. And he was so nice, and very interesting little jaunt to the back, and just past this car I picked up a very interesting photograph. This is the photograph just behind the car. You can see the edge of the building, which is that little cubby hole where the orange window was. There's an orb on the upper left-hand window. I don't actually recall seeing it on the camera when I took the picture. The back of the camera screen's quite small. And I should have taken more photographs of that area, and I didn't because I didn't see what I was looking at. But I cropped the photograph so you can see what the orb looks like up close. It is see-through. Doesn't appear to be any faces in this one. It's a typical plain orb, quite large actually. I'd have to see why that particular window. Maybe there was something in there I haven't dowsed. There were so many pictures that dowsing would take so long, and I wanted to get the pictures out as quickly as possible. But that's our first real capture. This is one of the first pictures I took when we got back to the little garden. You can't actually see the garden because I was more interested in taking pictures of the actual wall. I knew just past that cedar tree, which was about the center of the building, there was something getting my attention. So this is my first to try to take pictures of the actual wall to see if we could see in the windows. It's a typical picture. I don't think there's anything captured in this particular one. This is an interesting little window. You could physically see through see bars and stuff like in cells down in there. but because of the flash and the glass, you can't really see in. So it's a nice little picture of a barred window, but you can't really see anything. And this is still that little cedar tree. I'm sort of getting towards the center of where I'm interested in, but I'm trying to take pictures as I go. So nothing really interesting happened in this particular spot. This is where the incident happened. Just past this tree, you can sort of see the little path. It's winding that goes down the back, and you can see there's bushes and shrubbery and flowers. It's quite nice, and this is the little garden that he talked about. The red light at the very end of the path, there's like a little porch, and there's an exit sign or something in there, so that's not an orb, and that's not what we're going to be looking at. Just by that tree where the little bend is where the incident physically happened. I was trying to take a picture of a window in there, and suddenly that's when the air got very, very thick. It was like breathing water. And my first reaction was, oh, I'm having an asthma attack, or I'm an allergic reaction to something. And it suddenly went from, this is really uncomfortable, to, oh my God, my neck is being squeezed. And it was along the sides of my neck, like I had talked about in the car. It went from suddenly difficulty breathing to squeezing intensely on both sides. It felt like there was a ball in my throat, like it was being squoze so hard that you could feel everything inside coming together. Now, as this is happening, I'm hearing a voice in my head saying, "You're okay, you can breathe, you're sensing this, back away." Somehow, while all this was happening, as I was backing away, I took a picture. I don't know how I had the sense to do it. And above the red light in the sky, which is this next picture, there is an orb. It's very light. And it was just amazing that I actually had the sense to do that. I didn't panic as much as I should have, because I did have an incident similar to this happen to me when I was quite young. I was maybe 19, and we were with some friends, and I was driving around a bend down near a river and a bridge, and there'd been a car accident there, and I had sensed it, and it was far more strong than what happened here. I didn't know what it was at that point, and it was horrifying. I thought we were in a car crash. We weren't. As all of the things that were happening to me, the car had been pulled over. They were like trying to figure out what was happening. They didn't know, like, was I having a heart attack? Like, they didn't know what was wrong with me. But I was sensing the actual car accident that had happened. It had gone around the bend. It was slippery, I'm assuming. It went down into the ravine, landed upside down in the river. All of what had happened to the person there, I sensed. I really didn't know that that's what was happening. Thank God I had a high priestess with me who knew what was happening and knew the right things to do, the right things to ask. So when this physically happened to me, yes, it was terrifying, but I had the sense of knowing, okay, you're still breathing, you're all right. And to have whoever, and I'm assuming that this was a guardian of some sort. It could have been an angel, it could have been a relative, I don't know, because I haven't dowsed. But they're talking to me in my head, saying, you're okay, you're sensing this, back away. I've only ever had 2 experiences like this. I'm 53, one at the jail and one when I was 19. Very, very strong, very, very frightening. But nothing actually physically happened to me other than it was uncomfortable and scary. So I've found this to be a very amazing, amazing experience. This is the next picture I took, but before we actually got to this area, and there's that little cubby hole again where I saw the yellow, like the window with the orange in that. I kept thinking there was somebody there, and I was probably sensing the orb, but it's not showing in this picture. But as we're coming around the corner and walking back through this area, Charlotte was taking a picture of a door on the far side, and I'm after I get back enough to explain to her, I think we need to get out of here. I need to leave this area because I'm still kind of freaking out. And she's taking a picture, and I'm like, this is what happened to me. And she's like, oh, I can feel it too. And she did start to cough and feel that sort of pressure on her neck. And we're like, oh, as soon as we got through the door not a door, it's kind of like a foyer. I'm not sure if that's the right word. But the difference between the back of the jail and the front of the jail, there's like a little section that you walk through. And once we got to this side of the building, it was totally fine. I could still feel the effects of it. Charlotte was a little freaked out, of course, because she's never had this type of thing happen to her before. And I did want to take another picture of the entranceway because I was sure there was something there, which of course there was. There was an orb, but I was still sensing it, but it didn't show up. So that was our main thing that happened at the jail. This is a picture, that little cubby hole. There's a window just down low on the, it'd be the right side, I guess. This is through the glass, and you can see the toilet, which I'm pretty sure wasn't there when it was originally built in the 1800s. There's a little tiny narrow cell. People actually, if I'm understanding correctly, pay money to stay here overnight in a cell. It's not something that I would like to do right now. We are going to be doing some massive healings on all the areas that we went to. We haven't started yet, and we're going to be doing a couple of going back to each site and doing something actually at the site too, as well as sort of like a double healing. Very, very interesting night. We had a lot of stuff happen that we never expected. It would be kind of interesting to stay overnight at the jail, but I don't think that's something that's going to happen anytime soon. But it is something to consider. It would be nice if we had night vision cameras. I've seen YouTube videos of some girls that stayed there overnight, and they actually got an orb that came past a girl and shot right across the screen and into the wall, which is really amazing footage. But she had said, I don't know how many hours was photographed before they got that one little piece that took seconds. So if at some point we have better equipment, that would be the time to go and do a serious relook at the jail. But that was our jail visit. I hope you find the pictures interesting. We may have actually more photographs that we haven't discovered as of yet. Charlotte had taken a lot of photographs. If we do find more things in the future, we'll just have like a special episode of lost photographs that we hadn't discovered yet. So we've got several other sites to go to. This was probably our most horrifying experience, and we survived. It was fine. No one got hurt, and hopefully a lot of people are going to get healed when we're done. So I'm Michelle, and hopefully we'll have the next slideshow up for you very soon.